we go. So yeah, I'm probably gonna still give it a little bit before I start, but I figured I didn't want to just sit on the starting soon screen forever. But I'm hoping to at least get my friend in who has been very excited about this game and has not seemed to have gotten here yet. So I'm gonna chill and chat a little bit. I'll do this again probably multiple times throughout the stream. But yeah, this is a spooky game. I have content warnings in chat, and for anyone who's just watching this as a VOD, I shall read my content warnings command out loud right now at the beginning of the stream. So what I have written for my for my content warning tag is Scarlet Hollow is a horror game. Content will vary depending on choices made, but the potential content warnings include, and this is pulled straight from the game's website. Warnings include body horror, realistic gore, death, dead, dying, and injured animals, amputation, child amputation, unreality, hanging, implied parental abuse, jump scares, substance abuse, children in peril, child death, claustrophobia, emetophobia/vomiting, disturbing imagery and situations, auditory gore, and stalking. Oh, hello! Hello, Gone Fishing, thank you for lurking. This game is very cool. And once you've replayed, maybe you can check out my VOD. Alright, I'm gonna just do one more time. Alright, well, we can get into it a little bit. So yes, so now I've got the content warnings out of the way, so we can at least do the opening of the game. Spooky. Okay, so my name's gonna be Pengu. Oh, hello, there you are. Hello, Tapao. Alright, so I was partially waiting for you to get here, so you'll notice I haven't properly started. So this is going to be, well, I'll get into that in a moment, but like, I'm gonna do my default on-stream thing and call myself Pengu. I live in the city of, aw. Oh, no worries, you're like barely late, honestly. I had the stream starting soon screen up for a while, so I have not been active as long as it looks. Alright, and what city should I live in? My character, of course. I might make up a city name. So this takes place in, like, North Carolina, but that it's unclear where your character lives. This is sort of a silly thing to be caught up on. You know what? New York. Lots of people live in New York City. Let's just say that the character is from New York City. That's a good, simple, easy answer. I love that the pronoun options include they, them. That's what I'm gonna go for this character. And now I get to choose between these 7 attributes. So, powerful build, strong and athletic, the pinnacle of fitness, an intimidating presence, and tough as nails. Or mystical, strange and unusual, you see the threads of reality in ways others cannot. Or talk to animals, which is a really good skill, by the way. Like, there's so many animals in this game. You can talk to animals. Animals can talk to you. A gift and a curse. Street smart. Know how to lie and when you're being lied to. Slick and convincing. No door can hold you. I also really like this when I'm doing like a private run with Street Smart and Keen Eye. Keen Eye being observant, picks up on vibes, understands others' perspectives. Those are both really cool skills. They're all really cool skills, honestly. It's kind of hard to choose. But it does significantly impact certain aspects of gameplay, and like you get a lot of very different types of information between these different skills. and like your options for how you interact with people can change a lot as well. Alright, and then book smart, well-read and rational, possess a wealth of esoteric knowledge and know when to use it, a talented researcher. And finally, hot, attractive and charming, a natural flirt. People either want to be with you or be you. So, for my private run, like I said, I'm doing a street smart Kenai. I also have I'm planning like another run that I don't know if I will stream another run after this one. I might, just because it can change so much depending on how you do answers. But I've decided that for my stream run, I'm gonna do, so my character is not male. My character is gonna be gender neutral, but I'm envisioning probably like femme agender, or vaguely femme presenting, androgynous leaning agender. And therefore, the word himbo is not accurate, because the character is also not male. However, I'm going for that vibe, so I believe I have heard the internet term it Thembo. So we're going for a Thembo vibe, Thembo being the gender-neutral version of himbo. Or at least the non-binary. I keep saying gender-neutral when actually I mean non-binary more broadly, but... So, we are choosing powerful build, strong and athletic, the pinnacle of fitness, unintimidating presence, and tough as nails. And we're choosing hot, attractive and charming, and natural flirt. People either want to be with you or be you. And we're going for and like, you know, with the classic himbo archetype, like, we're going for, like, you know, strong and hot, and maybe a little dumb, and extremely good-hearted. So that's the vibe we're going for with this character. This version of my Pingu character is a Thembo. Alright, let's get into it. You jolt awake as the bus hits a particularly nasty bump. You feel like you'd only just managed to start drifting off, and now here you are, awake again and still exhausted. For a moment, you're hazy on the details of where exactly here is, confusing this bus with the many others that came before it. But as your mind continues to reassert its existence in the waking world, the past few days come back into focus. The long-lost cousin, the bad news, the 26 hours of bus rides with countless late-night stops and CD depots that felt unsafe even in the middle of the day. You wouldn't normally find yourself traveling like this, but your cousin bought the tickets. The funeral of Pearl and Scarlet, your cousin's mother and your aunt, seemed like something you shouldn't ignore, even considering your own late mother's rocky relationship with this side of the family. Fortunately, the end of your long journey is in sight. You're almost in Scarlet Hollow. Stranger. So anyway, as I was saying, oh no, he's still here. He's been sitting next to you for the past 5 hours, talking at you without pause. You're not even sure he stopped when you started to doze off. At first you thought he was just being friendly, but that was several hours of one-sided conversation ago. Stranger. I was up in Maryland looking for work, but mostly messing around because I was a dumb teen. Me and my buddies were doing our usual prank stuff, you know, pushing joggers into the harbor, that sort of thing. So I'm gonna go with... Wait, what? Pingu. Wait, what? Stranger. Yeah, you know, teen stuff. So this girl comes up to us, swinging her purse, yelling about how she was gonna call the cops or whatever. It was hilarious. She actually hit my friend, and he said it hurt a lot, so I guess she really was mad and not just playing. But she kept swinging, and soon enough she lost her balance and fell into the harbor all on her own. We didn't even have to push her. We had a good laugh and fished her out, and her phone got soaked so she couldn't call the cops on us. We wound up hanging out all day. She kind of became my girlfriend after that. We've been on and off for about a year, so it's pretty serious. Though about 5 months ago, she tried to break up with me, like, for real, and geez, you ever just get so mad you want to, like, kill someone? This guy is extremely yikes. Okay, so my options here are pretty great. So there's, like, you know, among other things, threaten. So the ones that are everyone gets these options. Threaten. I kind of feel like killing someone right now. I never feel that way, no. Oh yeah, all the time. What's wrong with you? Smile and pretend he didn't just say that. Or I think I'm gonna go with the hot option. Hot option. I honestly can't say anybody's ever tried to break up with me. Like, wow. I mean, I'm choosing to believe that my character is saying that kind of innocent of how conceited it sounds, but we're gonna go with it anyway. I honestly can't say that anybody's ever tried to break up with me. Stranger. Heh, yeah, I should have known I'd sound a little unhinged to someone like you. But if anyone ever does try to break your heart, you might be surprised how it changes you. Nope! Gonna say IRL. I have been broken up with. Definitely didn't make me feel like killing anybody. That's a pretty effed up mentality. Oh, Stranger straight up says, I honestly could have killed that woman. That is so messed up, and I really, really want this girl to get away from him. Stranger. Anyway, she's giving birth to our son right now, so I'm trying to get up to Virginia to be there for it. But I don't know if I'm, like, into that stuff, so I might just wind up on a bus to New York or something instead. I've always wanted to go there. Yeah, I'm thinking... Like, obviously, I'm not gonna do smart move, get out while you still can. Like, no. Haha, that's interesting, is obviously the awkward response. That's not really what we're going for. What's wrong with you is way too, I really like that I have this option. Get your act together, dude! Get your act together, or someday soon you're gonna run into someone who doesn't tolerate your bullshit. You cross your arms and glare at the young man with menace in your eyes. Stranger. Huh, alright, maybe you have a point. I guess New York will always be there waiting for me. Anyway, where did you say you were headed? So I'm gonna go with the, yes, my character's been annoyed by this, but the sort of Thembo, slightly dense, doesn't occur to them to obfuscate, so... Scarlet Hollow. Stranger. Oh, the holler, huh? That's what they call the hollows up in the mountains, you know? I had a couple of buddies who went up there to work the mine. There's a coal mine up in the holler, you see, and there's always a job listing or two on the boards around here. I've never wanted to do that kind of thing myself. I like my lungs the way they are. Thanks, but my buddies got desperate enough to try it. I haven't heard from them in a while now that I think about it. I should see if they're on Facebook, see how they're doing up there. Ha! Hope they didn't die! He looks back at his phone, for once focused on something other than you. Oh, this is me. It was lovely meeting you. Hope you didn't get too bored hope you don't get too bored without me around to talk to. I think I'll be okay, buddy. Stranger. Here, I have something for you. The stranger rifles through his pack before presenting you with a dripping bag of peanuts. Stranger. They're boiled peanuts. I got them at a gas station a few buses back. I noticed you haven't eaten much, so I figured you could use them more than me. Plus, they dripped all over my bag, so I don't want to carry them anymore. And then it gives me a game tip. Sometimes picking a dialogue option establishes new facts about who you are. Anyway, so I've definitely done no thanks and screw you and your peanuts on separate private runs. Any option, as far as I can tell, ends with him leaving the peanuts. Or giving you the peanuts or leaving them to drip onto the bus seat, which is pretty gross. Even the I'm allergic to peanuts option, he'll just be like, well, they're yours anyway. Because this guy's a total asshole, as we've established. However, I love the option that Powerful Build gives me. Protein is protein. I didn't build these muscles by turning down free protein. You take the wet peanuts from the stranger. It's been several hours since you've had any protein, which is several hours too many in your book. You tear into them immediately, not even bothering to remove the shells as you chew through fistfuls of soft legume. In a few moments, they're all gone. Stranger. I figured someone like you would get good use out of them. And with that, I leave you. Safe travels, friend. And just like that, the stranger is gone. Maybe you can finally get some sleep. Bus driver. Next stop, Scarlet Hollow. End of the line. Almost there. The bus finally comes to a stop, its brakes squealing as it deposits you in front of the Scarlet Hollow bus station. The sign at least reads bus station, but calling it that feels disingenuous. At best, it's a kiosk. Though for a small town like this, you're amazed that there's so much as a road, let alone a bus that drives on it every week. The driver quickly shuts the door behind you and starts the engine, kicking up dust clouds as he pulls away, eager to leave you and this place behind. Question mark person. Hey, Pengu. You instantly recognize the worn young woman from the few public profiles on her Facebook page. She's your cousin, Tabitha, and she looks annoyed to be here. Okay. I'm not gonna do the firm handshake, so I'm either gonna do the hot option of make a good first impression with a winning smile, or powerful build and hot, charm her. I think I'm gonna go with charming her, because I want her to like me, and she starts off very... a little tetchy. Annoyance might rest on your cousin's face now, but nobody's walked away from meeting you uncharmed. You flash Tabitha the sort of smile that conveys every bit of the multitude of emotion it needs to. Relief at meeting your long-lost family for the first time. Profound sorrow at the circumstances needed to make that happen. Slightly nervous anticipation at the opportunity to build a new relationship. Tabitha, it's so nice to finally meet you. I was so sorry to hear about your mom. And there it is. Tabitha. Thanks. For a brief moment, Tabitha is put at ease before she quickly straightens up and the annoyance returns to her face. It might not have been much, but it's progress. Come on, let's go. I don't want to spend any more time down here than I have to, says Tabitha. Your cousin turns and motions to an old BMW parked near the bus kiosk. You follow her, clambering into the dusty relic. It doesn't take much driving before the only signs of civilization are the car you're in and the road you're on. Tabitha maintains an icy silence as she focuses on the road. Tip: dialogue options labeled Explorer can usually be taken without advancing the story. They can impact relationships and unlock additional story paths, so choose carefully. The game says, for example, I'm choosing not to go with I guess we're both members of the Dead Moms Club now, huh? Maybe that would work for some people, but it feels a little insensitive and just feels like never a good idea with someone you've only just met. So yeah, I'm gonna open with, how are you holding up? Tabitha. Fine. Oh no, I do like the... Oh... Maybe I'm gonna have this character be a little smarter than your average himbo thembo type archetype, just because I think an actual thembo would look at this and be like, phew, good to hear, which I don't like as an answer, so we're gonna be a little more sensitive than that, because that's painful to me. So instead we're gonna respond, you know you can talk to me, right? I lost my mom too. Which actually comes out as, you know you can talk to me, right? I know we only just met, but, you know, I went through something similar with my own mom, so if you ever need to vent or... Tabitha. I'm good. I'm gonna go with, I can't believe we've never actually met before this. Tabitha. Yep. You have your mom to thank for that. Or had, I guess. Of these options, I'm definitely going with, I wish I'd known about you. I don't know why my mom left or what kind of grudge she had against this side of the family, but I'm sorry. I wish I'd known about you. Tabitha. Whatever. What's done is done. Alright, alright. Next option, dialogue option. So, the funeral. It's on Sunday, right? Yeah, I feel like she is hard to have warm up or have her warm up to us. Something. Yeah. She's got a pretty icy demeanor, which it is difficult to break through. But, you know, gosh darn it, my extremely charming and good-natured character is going to get through to her, so I say. So, the funeral. It's on Sunday, right? Tabitha. Yep, like I told you. Oh my gosh, I hate the geez, that's almost a whole week option. It's so rude. But instead, I am going to ask, do you need any help planning? If you ever need help with errands or scheduling, feel free to ask. I know this stuff isn't easy. Tabitha. It's actually been fine. Just needed the coffin and somebody to dig a hole. And we are not doing the Dead Moms Club thing, so remain silent. You decide to sit in silence with your cousin as the car eases up the steep mountain road. And here it is, the Scarlet Estate. Though it's seen better days, its crumbling elegance is not lost on you, as someone who used to cramped apartments in Grey cities. Your mother told you about this place many times before she passed, always with an anger burning beneath her words. The faded majesty you once imagined doesn't quite compare to what's in front of you, a jarring blend of opulence and ruin. As you stare at it perched on the crumbling cliffside, you can't help but feel like it's something that should have been left to rot a long, long time ago. And alright, we're gonna try our darndest to be very polite throughout this, but oh boy, this house is in a bit of a state. As soon as you enter, you're hit with a blast of dusty air. Everything in this room has been here for much longer than you've been alive, each object cemented in place with layers of dust and cobwebs. You can hear doors creak on their hinges and the aches and moans of ancient floorboards as the house itself sways in the wind. Tabitha. Welcome to our family's humble estate. Unfortunately, due to the current state of the house, only a few rooms will be safely accessible during your stay. I wouldn't go wandering anywhere else if you value your limbs. The floors have been known to give out. If you know what's good for you, you'll stick to your room, your bathroom, and the kitchen. And the hallways, I guess. But only the hallways you need to use to get into those places. I'll show you around so you know where it's safe to walk. You can leave your bags here for the time being. Alright, so none of these are explore options, so I'm gonna go, and I don't want to be rude, so I'm either gonna say cool thanks or it's beautiful, and I'm gonna go with a earnest and charming person who's maybe a little naive, which is the goal, but like I'm probably gonna end up, that's the like I said, the sort of lacking intelligence and naive are the things that I'm going to have the hardest trouble pinning down, so I'll probably not worry too much about those things. So we're just going to go for charming and well-meaning. And maybe a little, like, rose-colored glasses, which means I'm going to try and earnestly answer, it's beautiful, because I'm choosing to believe that this character is someone who could look past the dirt and grime and see what it used to be. Like, you know, look at that lovely chandelier. I'm sure this place was gorgeous in its heyday. So, it's beautiful. Tabitha. It is. The estate was the prize jewel of this region for a long time. It's quite a magnificent piece of architecture, even now. Shall we begin our tour? Follow me. You put your bags down and follow Tabitha through a long, dusty hallway. She delicately steps over holes and tears in the floor, and you do your best to trace her steps. Tabitha. Kitchen. On Wednesdays, a woman from town comes in and does the cleaning. Her name is Janie. I wouldn't recommend socializing with her. She'll talk your ear off. If you need any food, there's fixings for peanut butter and jelly. I'm trying to figure out if my audio has suddenly vanished, or if there just isn't any audio to be heard. Let me just test something. Yeah, we'll just... Alright, so, Tabitha. Don't touch my mac and cheese or my ice cream. Those are off limits. Oh, and you can also access the garden through here, but it's pretty wild, so I wouldn't if I were you. Tip. Some Explorer options prevent you from taking others. Choose carefully. So, yes, I'm not going to be the kind of rude that is someone cleans this place, or this place is nasty. This feels like a awesome I love P&B and Jake type character, so... Awesome! I love PB&J. How'd you know it was one of my favorites? A hot-only option. It looks like your famous smile doesn't run in the family. Aw, poor Tabitha. Tabitha. I didn't, but good for you. She's trying very hard to smile. Oh. She really kind of looks like someone who's lived a stressful and rough life. Alright, I'm trying to figure out what's going on with the sound. So I've been having a little bit of issues Yeah, I thought so. I've been having some issues with my headset that I'm actually worried about, but for now we're just gonna unplug and replug. Because I was sure, this game has a beautiful soundtrack, and I was sure there should be music. And it had just gone away from me. Alright, so she says, I didn't, but good for you. Alright, I'm gonna say, it's nice. This is so nice. It's so much bigger than what I'm used to in the city. Is that a kitchen island? Tabitha. It is. Thank you. So I'm gonna also ask, is there somewhere in town to buy food? Because one should not survive on PB&J for a week. I might want to eat something other than PB&J this week. Is there somewhere in town we can get groceries? Tabitha. Well, aren't you fancy? Yeah, there's the general store. There's also a diner. I usually order my food in bulk online, though, so I wouldn't be going with you. Yep, we're just gonna go with sweet, thanks. Tabitha. Cool. Good talk. Alright, what's next on the tour? Tabitha. Bathroom. Follow me. Great, it's been hours since I've gone. As the two of you leave the kitchen, you've passed by a tuxedo cat sitting on the countertop. I'm gonna say that this character, although does not speak to animals, likes animals, and is a little, you know, lacking in some ways in perception, and so is not going to ask before trying to pet the cat. Before following your cousin down the hall, you decide to pet the cat. She bites you hard and hisses violently. Tabitha sighs. Tabitha. As you've now learned, you should not pet Frou-Frou. If she wants to be pet, she'll let you know. Come on, the bathroom awaits. Oh well. Tried to pet a cat, got bit for it. You once again follow Tabitha through a long, dusty hallway. Maybe after a few nights it'll get easier to navigate these spaces, but for the time being you feel lucky to have not fallen through the floors. Tabitha. Guest bathroom. Not much to show. It's a bathroom. I'll wait outside. Do what you must, if you must. It is a nasty, wretched bathroom. Piles of junk sit untouched in the corners of the room, and mystery stains paint the floor. I'm gonna go with, let's see. Who exactly uses this bathroom? Tabitha. Guests. I don't want to be too rude, so I'm not going to ask if the toilet works. And I'm definitely not going to lie that I like this bathroom, because that would just be a bald-faced lie. And I'm not going to say this is the worst bathroom I've ever seen, because that's rude to say out loud. I'm going to say this character is just like, well, toilet's a toilet. Small content warning, which is not on the list of content warnings, but when we lift the toilet seat, there will be some skittery cockroaches. In this same art style, so it's not going to be super graphic, but, like, just, you know, be prepared. Bugs skitter from the bowl as you lift the seat. I'm going to say, use the facilities. A toilet is a toilet. Sure, it could be cleaner, but your business needs doing, and this is as good a place as any. You do what you must, and you rejoin your cousin out in the hall. I am going to assume that no character who goes through and uses this bathroom ever lets their butt actually touch the seat of the toilet. It's possible to do regardless of your equipment. Anyway, you do what you must, and you rejoin your cousin out in the hall. Tabitha. Next up, guest bedroom. Last stop on the tour. Follow me. You and Tabitha briefly return to the foyer before climbing the stairs and reaching the guest room. The room smells old. Dust, mildew, wood rot. It has it all. A week of sleeping in this place might give you permanent lung damage. Oh, remind me to hydrate. Thank you, Thembo. I am, in fact, going to need to do a lot of hydrating here due to the reading aloud. Tabitha. This is where you'll be staying. The linens are fresh. I had Janie wash them last week. I had to endure a half-hour rant about her kid to get her to do it, so you'd better be grateful. Closet is full of old family stuff, so you can't hang your clothes up, but you can use the dresser. It should be empty. I am gonna... Yeah, I'm gonna go with... This room is amazing! Continuing with the thread of what a lovely antique house. And being naively excited about it. This is great! Way nicer than what I'm used to. Tabitha. I can't say I'm surprised. Each and every piece of furniture in this room is a genuine antique, handed down through the family for generations. This is not an IKEA bedroom, or whatever such nonsense you're used to in the city. Alright, and then we're gonna use Powerful Build and ask, do you need help around the house? There's a lot of boxes and stuff lying around here. I could help you move things around and fix the place up. Tabitha. Look, I appreciate the offer, but Janie already comes in once a week. It's fine. I guess I'll start to get settled. Tabitha. Follow me. I'll take you back to the foyer so you can collect your belongings. This concludes our tour. I'm afraid I must return to my duties, so you'll have to entertain yourself for the rest of the day. Don't expect to see much of me. Tip. Some dialogue options will offer additional conversation paths, some right away and others down the line. So, I'm going to ask out of pure, innocent curiosity, where are you going? Wait, where are you going? Tabitha. To work. Somebody has to pay the bills around here. What kind of work do you do? Tabitha. I run the coal mine, same as every Scarlet who came before me. Except for you and your mom. It requires a lot of time and concentration, so I'd appreciate it if you didn't keep me for long. I might go hashtag girl boss, but I kind of want to ask if I can come watch. Can I come watch? What? No, the mine is dangerous. I can't babysit you and do my job. I didn't know we owned a coal mine. Tabitha. We don't own the coal mine. I own the coal mine. Your side of the family forfeited any claim to it years ago. And I'm gonna go hashtag girl boss. Damn, I can't believe you're only in your 20s and already running a coal mine. Talk about girl boss. Tabitha. Don't patronize me. I know you have nothing to your name, Tengu. Okay, she's smiling though, because that's definitely Tabitha's smile, and I mean, maybe she's smiling sarcastically sometimes, but I'm gonna say, even though she's saying don't patronize me, she might kind of appreciate it, because I mean, I was at least in my mind, that I was trying to make that a compliment. Don't patronize me. I know you have nothing to your name, Tengu. Any other inane questions before I leave? Maybe I should have done a name that was a little more standard than Pengu. I'm so used to in games doing like, I will not usually use my own name, but I usually use other types of names, and that, like, for this seriousness of this game, using a name that's not quite a name feels a little odd to me, because I'm just not used to doing it, but I like being called Pengu, so I'm gonna roll with it. I'm gonna have I'm going to allow myself that one moment to comment on how it is a little odd to have the name Pingu in a game where lots of people where everyone else has normal has, typical types of people names. And that Pingu is not quite a normal people name. But I think it's gonna be okay, and I will be fine. Alright. Tabitha. Any other inane questions before I leave? I'm gonna say, did I do something wrong? Hey, did I do something wrong? You asked me to come to this funeral, but since the moment I got you here, you've been acting like I spat in your coffee. What's going on? Was it something I said? Tabitha. Okay, I'm sorry I've been testy since you got here. You've been fine. I'm just under a lot of pressure right now. Please just stay in my hair until later, okay? I have work to do. I'm gonna say, I won't keep you, but we should hang out when you get back. Or, I guess the full sentence is, alright, I won't keep you, but we should hang out when you get back. Tabitha, we'll see. There's a lot that needs to get done this week. My cousin leaves through the front door, and now it's just you. You in this sprawling, decrepit estate. I'm gonna say a PB&J sounds great right now. The only things you've had to eat in the past 8 hours were those boiled peanuts you got from that strange young man on the bus. Suffice it to say, you're still hungry, and a PB&J sounds like exactly what you need to take on the rest of the day. You head to the kitchen. Oh, of all the games this game accommodates that sort of thing, I've missed... Oh, also, I just realized, I think, an ad might have run, and I totally missed it. Well, whatever, it's fine. For the VODs, it won't be a problem, and Tapao is the only person I know is actively watching, so hopefully no. But, like, as my standard, if you're watching live and you are getting ads, like, absolutely feel free. Like, I try to keep an eye on it, but I don't always catch them, so feel free to let me know, and I can either, like, and I can pause if I catch it, or I can go back and reread anything I missed. Yep, no ad on your end, of course. You're subscribed. Oh, and also, Tapao, of all the games this game accommodates that sort of thing, which sort of thing do you mean? I lost track of... I've been saying a lot of things, so I missed quite the thread of which thing you were referring to when you said that. Anyway, we're gonna keep going, but I'll check back on chat in a sec. You're back in the kitchen, ready to craft a beautiful peanut butter and jelly sandwich. It's a daunting task, given the state of the place, but the aggressive growls of your stomach outweigh your fear of food poisoning. To get started, you'll probably need to find some peanut butter, some jelly, a bread, a plate, and a knife. So, obviously the first thing to do is to approach Frou-Frou. The cat hisses as you draw near, but remains firmly in place. This is clearly Frou-Frou's spot on the counter. Yeah, you know, I got powerful build. I'm probably not fazed by getting bit by a cat. Oh, using the name Pingu, or in general a less common name. Yeah, the game accommodates that. Because, yeah, you can just be called whatever you want, and they will call you whatever you want. And, yeah, I do appreciate games having a lot of freedom in what you choose for a name. Although I do find it easy. Sometimes I find it easier when games have a standard name, but that makes more sense for a protagonist that already has a personality. Like, you know, in Cinderella Phenomenon with Lucette. Whereas this is clearly a game where you're meant to, like, put yourself in the place of the protagonist as you see fit. Like, you're not playing a character with their own existing personality, you're role-playing the part of the protagonist, as far as I can tell. As you see fit. Yep, so anyway, I'm gonna try to pet Frou-Frou again. It's a bad idea. But I'm gonna do it anyway! You put out your hand in an attempt to pet Frou-Frou. She bites you viciously. Honestly, what were you expecting? The cat emits a low growl as you cautiously back away. I was expecting that maybe this time she'd let me pet her. I wasn't actually expecting that. I just wanted to try. Alright, so we're gonna search the fridge first. As you approach the fridge, your eyes catch on a note taped to the door reading, Janie, stay out, in all caps. Below it, in separate handwriting, are the words, okie dokie. You open the fridge. You already feel a deep urge to wash your hands, even though you have yet to touch anything other than the handle. I'm gonna not examine that old takeout. I've looked at it in previous runs. I haven't ever looked at the mayonnaise. I'm curious. You know you probably shouldn't, but a part of you has to know how old that mayonnaise is. You pick up the jar, its label flaking in your hand. It expired 10 years ago. This jar of mayonnaise is old enough to graduate the 5th grade. Best to put it back and forget you ever saw it. I'm gonna take the jelly. Reach for one of the unopened jars of grape jelly, carefully checking its expiration date. You breathe a sigh of relief and you realize it's recent. This was either purchased specifically for you, or jelly is one of the few things in this kitchen that Tabitha actually uses. All you need now is a plate, a knife, bread, and some peanut butter. Better close this fridge and keep looking. We are not examining anything else. It's all pretty... And I'm not taking her ice cream, because she didn't want me to, so I'm not going to do it. You return to the kitchen, closing the fridge behind you. Next we're going to search the pantry, because that's next on the list. Tabitha sure loves her mac and cheese. We are going to take the bread. You pick up one of the non-moldy loaves of bread. Great. One step closer to a satisfying snack. All you need now is a plate, a knife, and some peanut butter. Take the peanut butter. The king of nut butters, and only 3% of each jar is mashed up cockroaches. Oh. The only thing you need now are a plate and a knife. I'm gonna look at the mac and cheese. I'm not gonna eat it because that would be rude. You pick up a box of Tabitha's mac and cheese. You can't say you've ever seen the brand before. I also am horrified that they have this option to play a mean prank on Tabitha like you. I am gonna put it back. Staying away from the mac and cheese was one of your cousin's hard rules, and she already seems to not like you. You put the box back where you found it, reluctant to make things worse than they already are. Close the pantry. You close the pantry door as best you can and turn back to the rest of the kitchen. Finally, we search the cabinets. This cabinet must be where Tabitha keeps the dishware and, oddly enough, the utensils. Grab a plate and a... Well, actually, I'm going to look at a couple of things, but not the bowl. Examine the shot glass. It reads, I survived Deb's 50th. Your aunt's name was Pearl Ann, so this wasn't from her 50th. From the few stories you've heard from your mom, Pearl Ann wasn't the type to have kitschy friends who gave out themed shot glasses at their birthday parties. Slight spoiler, I've also played this on a Kenai run. The assumption you make with Kenai is that probably belongs to Jamie. Examine the mug. It reads, I was blown away at Blowing Rock NC. So your aunt and cousin actually traveled sometimes, even if it was only a few hours from the estate. Maybe you can route your return trip through Blowing Rock. It might be nice to see the local sights before heading home. Alright, and we're not going to touch that bowl. You might see it has a little note on it. Again, something I did in another run. It is not a usable bowl. It is a moth trap. So we're gonna not grab it. Alright. We are gonna grab a plate and a butter knife. You grab a plate and a butter knife. This is the last ingredient you needed to make your PB&J. Time to get to work. Close the cabinet. You close the cabinet and look back to the rest of the kitchen. Make that PB&J. Despite the state of this horrendous kitchen, you have successfully combined your 3 ingredients to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Congratulations! Protein awaits. A job well done. And this is, in fact, its own achievement, which I've already achieved. All of that hassle, and it took you less than a minute to eat. The rest of the day lies in front of you. Alright, check out the garden. The garden... This garden was reclaimed by the wilderness long ago. It might not be very safe, but who's to stop you from venturing deeper? You wander further into the garden. It's quiet out here. And there's nothing out here at the moment, so we're returning to the kitchen. You head back inside and close the door behind you. And you are done here. Congratulations, you've eaten and have a full day ahead of you. What do you want to do next? Kind of settle into the room. Now that you've finally eaten, the aches and pains of your journey have started to sink deep into your bones. You stumble up the stairs to your room, suitcase in tow, eager to unwind before you face the rest of the day. You stand at the entrance to your room. I'm gonna try take a nap, you've earned it. You immediately collapse onto the bed. You're tired enough that being alone in a strange new place won't stop you from passing out. Or so you thought. You cough as a small cloud of dust rises up from the mattress. These sheets might be fresh, but everything beneath them might have been around to see the dawn of civilization. You try to settle in, but the bed is lumpy in strange places, and you can feel the springs pressing through the fabric. So, not a good mattress. You might be tired, but you're far from tired enough to get in more than a few minutes of uncomfortable napping. Alright. I'm gonna check out the closet first. And there's a creepy doll! So yeah, content warning, creepy doll. Nothing happens with the creepy doll, so it's literally not a content warning for anything besides if you're mildly creeped out by porcelain dolls. As far as I'm aware, this is just a doll. Or at least nothing weird has happened with it yet. You can see why your cousin said you should put your clothes in the dresser instead of this closet. There must be decades of family history stacked up in here. Well, look at the doll. Of course you're sharing a room with a creepy doll. You pick it up to examine it more closely. Its foot reads property of Alexandra. No need to carry this around with you. You close the closet behind you. Alright, I'm gonna do close last, I think, so let's look out the window. You can only imagine how beautiful the garden must have been in its heyday. If you owned this place, you'd totally get out there with a shovel and some gardening gloves and whip it into shape. You'd go out and pull weeds, chop trees, carve topiaries, and do whatever you needed to do to return it to its former glory. And once it was all done, you'd sit by the fountain, which of course would have little goldfish in it, and drink a floral tea while enjoying the birdsong. Yeah, you'd definitely do that. Just not right now. Examine the painting on the wall. This must be an old relative of yours. Very old, judging by the dates on the inscription. You've never heard of her, but you'd barely heard anything about your aunt and cousin until a week ago, so it's not really a surprise. Maybe you could ask Tabitha about this Mary Belle Scarlet the next time you see her. That is, if she's actually in the mood for conversation. Alright, now we're going to put the spare clothes in the dresser. You drag your suitcase over to the dresser and open the bottom drawer. An opossum lurks within. It is quiet but angry. I'm going to say, oh, pardon me. You gently close the door, leaving the marsupial in peace. This drawer belongs to the opossum, and there's nothing you can do about it. You open the top drawer next. It's empty, as good a place as you'll find to put your clothes. Based on the state of the house, you wonder if you'd have been better off keeping your clothes in your nice clean bag, but there's no going back now. And that's enough. It doesn't seem like there's much else for you to do here right now. And I am going to be polite and respectful and not explore the forbidden wings of the estate, because I respect that she's probably not actually trying to hide anything. She's probably genuinely worried that our character here will fall through the floor. Ergo, might as well head to town. Now that you've settled in, there's not much left for you to do here other than head out and explore the town. You do just that. If you'd have known you'd wind up having to walk all the way back to town, you probably would have just asked Tabitha to leave you at the bus stop, especially with how unhappy she seemed to see you. If only you could wipe the slate between the two of you clean and bury some of the tension. Though, maybe her mother's funeral isn't the best time for something like that. Then again, maybe it's the perfect time. Oh god, no, she's probably hiding terrible family secrets. I mean, I have no actual idea, but... Okay, but my character is choosing to assume... I mean, maybe that's true. Well, like... But my character is choosing to assume that Cousin Tabitha is just worried for our well-being. I, the player, may suspect that there's something else going on in there, but... my character probably doesn't. Is what I'm playing this as. And besides, I happen to know for a fact that the door is locked and I'm not going to be able to open it. So, no real point to it. It's really pretty out here. Finally, you made it back to town. The holler, as that guy on the bus called it, has probably seen better days. It still has the feeling of an idyllic country town, but its sidewalks are cracked and many of the storefronts are boarded up, their windows dusty with age. A chill breeze sweeps down the lane and you shudder, suddenly feeling as if you're peering into a grate. But this chat is strong. This care is strong. You're right, actually. This character is strong and could probably break the lock if tried hard enough, but would be too polite to break the lock. If you really want to be able to get into the locked door, streetwise. If I do a second run of this, it might be with my streetwise Kenai character that I've technically... Actually, no, maybe I would do streetwise talk with animals. That would be it. I think if I do another run on stream, that's the combo of skills I would take. But for this run, we're being very polite and not trying not to get into too much trouble, although Stella is going to have something to say about the getting into trouble thing. Question mark. Oh, I haven't seen you around here before. Oh, I also just realized I totally missed the little doggo running up because I was looking away. And the doggo is actually pretty cute. Funny story about me. In real life, I'm pretty uncomfortable around dogs, but in games, or rather in fiction, when dogs are drawn kind of cutely, I like them a lot better because all of the things that make me uncomfortable around dogs are not applicable to fictional dogs. So I actually find the dog here extremely adorable. Let's see what I can pull from an auto. All right, we're gonna pull back from here just because I want to see that bit again. Great. Yeah, I did a new Stream Elements, a cute little timer thing because I did actually see that from another streamer I watched. Just a cute little positivity reminder. Alright, so I rewound a little so I could actually pay attention to the dog running up. So I'm gonna skip this bit because I've already read it, but like we're going from the you shudder, suddenly feeling as if you're peering into a grave. And then Doggo! Doggo! Little adorable pupper. Oh, I haven't seen you around before. And because my character is hot, the young woman is noticeably flustered by your appearance. It's a phenomenon that you, as a hot, are all too familiar with. Sorry about Gretchen. She can be very slippery when she wants to be. Hope she didn't scare you. Yep, I'm gonna go with a pug! She's so cute. So, Pengu the character, not Pengu the person. Pengu the character is like, I love pugs! She's so cute! Mystery person. Thanks, she is cute. Sure, most of her teeth have fallen out, and she's got a couple of weird growths, but for a 17-year-old pug, that's pretty good. That's amazing! So, I'm gonna say, 17? That's incredible! Mystery person. It sure is. I'm hoping she beats the current record holder and makes it to 19. Or better yet, 20. The more time we get together, the better. Isn't that right, Gretch? How about I introduce myself so you won't be so nervous? I'm Stella. It's not often I see a strange face up in the holler. Every now and then there's a new crop of coal folks, but you don't look dusty enough for that. Stella. Silence. Slightly embarrassed. Or awkward, maybe. You aren't in town for the funeral, are you? The Scarlet funeral? I'm going to introduce myself now. Hi, I'm Pengu. Stella. You must be Tabby's cousin, right? That's the only person I can think of who would come into town for the funeral. How's she holding up? To be honest, I've been a little worried about her all alone up in that big house. I am kind of curious. I'm sorry. Yeah, you know what? I don't think this is a rude response. I'm, in fact, very curious. I'm sorry. Did I hear you right? I can't imagine Tabitha ever going by something so lovely. Stella. She did back when I knew her better. It's been a while. I hope she's okay. I'm gonna go with, I'm worried about her too. Stella. She's always been a little rough around the edges, but I figured she'd probably be having a rough go of things. She and her mom were really close. I'm also going to turn the light down. I think she's been up in that old mansion all by herself. Yeah, I just noticed that the music is a bit loud, so I'm turning it down a little. We'll try here. Yeah. It's great music, don't get me wrong, but I don't want it to, like, drown my voice out, so. Stella continues. It'll probably be good for her now that you're staying there, even if she doesn't think so herself. I mean, you know, she is also the one who invited us there, so, like, she clearly wanted us there, like, on some level at least. How long have you known her? Stella. Oh, quite a long time. The town's really small, so everyone's known everybody else for as far back as they can remember. Tabby and I got a little close when we were both in the school's production of A Midsummer's Night's Dream. I was Puck, and she was Mustard Seed. As you might have expected, she was more than a little prickly, but I managed to soften her up in a bit in the end. But then she graduated, and that was that. Oh, if you just got to town, you must be starving. I was just on my way to the diner for a coffee, and they've got amazing biscuits. My treat. Follow her. The pleasant aroma of greasy breakfast food hangs heavy in the air. In contrast with the empty, lifeless atmosphere of the family estate, the diner is filled with the comforting din of human life. All of which grinds to a sudden halt as the patrons realize that a stranger has entered the establishment. Oh, hot. Hey everyone. Hey everyone, I'm Pengu, just in town for the funeral. Nice to meet y'all. The woman behind the counter beams back at you. Hello there and welcome to the holler. You just let us know if you need anything, okay? You nod politely, giving a small wave as you and Stella slide into the nearest booth. Stella, looks like you'll probably be the talk of the town for a while. It's not often folks around here meet many strangers, and with who you're related to, well, folks love their gossip, you know? New mystery person. Hey, Stella! No, sorry. Hey, Stella! I went ahead and fixed you up a coffee. Oh, hi, Six Card! I'm playing a spooky visual novel. Thanks for lurking. Nice to see you. Do. They gracefully place a cup of specially brewed coffee in front of Stella. Stella. Aw, shucks. Thanks, Avery. Avery. And here's some bacon for the little lady. Gretchen sniffs the bacon and digs in. Tip: you can hit the H button on your keyboard to hide the text box at any time. I love that they give you that tip at just the moment that you might want to see the cute little illustrated doggo slurping at the bacon. It's funny because anyone who knows me personally is probably going to be confused by how excited I am about this doggo, but you do not understand how much I like fictional animals more than real animals in most cases. It depends on the animal, but if it's mammalian, I will probably enjoy a fictional version of that best. On average, like dogs and cats and stuff. Like, I don't mind some, like, I have a bit of a dog phobia in real life, but I don't mind cats or, like, other types of critters, but when they're fictional and none of the stuff that bothers me about them can actually reach me, like with dogs, it's scary if they bark or jump at me. This dog cannot possibly bark or jump at me. It can only bark or jump at the player, and the dog is illustrated extremely cutely. Ergo, I love this little pupper. It is a slobbery mess, but fictional doggo is amazing. Exactly. H again. Little pupper. Going slurpy slurpy bacon. Avery, who only gives me this response because I'm hot. And charming. I'm gonna say it's not just because I am physically attractive, it's also because my character is obviously exudes an air of... Okay, my character is clearly charismatic. Avery, which saying this because I have the hot trait. Anything for you, darling? I'm gonna say order a biscuit and coffee. Could I have a biscuit and coffee, please? I heard they were really good. Avery, best in the county. Avery pours the fragrant brew into the empty mug in front of you. They linger after pouring your coffee, turning to you nervously. Oh, and I'm sorry for your loss. Before you have the chance to respond, they're gone. Stella, glad you took my advice with the biscuit. You won't regret it. Anyway, the funeral's not till Sunday, right? That gives you quite a bit of time to slum around town. I'm trying to think if there are any cool events going on this week. There's always the reading adventure at the library, which is supposed to be for little kids, but I do it every month anyway. Oh, and I'm pretty sure Avery's throwing a party Saturday night, so that's a fun thing to look forward to. Look at this cute little pupper, who's looking up being very sad. Like, I'm just assuming that that's my bacon is gone, sad face. Oh, and by the way, if you choose the isn't bacon bad for dogs, they explain that, Gretchen, like, first of all, they're careful to give Gretchen the, like, really lean cuts, and also, like, Stella describes it as being, like, you know, your 100-year-old aunt who has, like, a glass of wine every day. Although, to be fair, science has found that a single glass of wine daily can actually be not bad for your health, but I get what they were trying to go for with that. Like, you know, like my great-grandmother who lived to 100, but, like, eating dessert first every day of her life. So, just to sort of validate the dog eating bacon. Because I didn't want to choose that choice on this run-through because it felt impolite. Anyway, so Stella continued to tell us about events around town this week. And there's the weekly Sunday potluck. That should be right after the funeral, too, so it'll be a special occasion. I'm gonna say, sounds neat. Maybe I'll check some of those things out. Stella. Anyway, those are all the big events that I can think of. As for the day-to-day, any idea how you want to kill time for the rest of the week? Yeah, powerful. We'll go with the powerful build option, I think. I'm sure there are some good trails, so out loud. I was kind of hoping to find some good hiking trails around here. Stella. Oh? My job actually has me running around the woods pretty often, so if you ever need a guide... Before Stella can finish, Avery returns, biscuit in tow. Avery. Here's your biscuit. Winnie says it's on the house. She sends her condolences. I'm gonna go with... Thanks, Avery. It looks great. You pick up the biscuit. It's delicate and fluffy. It nearly crumbles at your touch. Buttery warmth emanates from its surface. You take a bite. It melts in your mouth as if it was nothing but butter suspended in a thin matrix of dough. Oh, that sounds actually really tasty, and I want one now. Truly, this is a perfect biscuit. I'm gonna go with... Whoa, this is a really good biscuit. Wow. Stella. I'm so glad you like it. Avery lingers at the table for a moment. So, has Stella mentioned she's famous? Stella. Haha, oh Avery, I'm not famous. Avery. Look, if you're not going to go around tooting your own horn, you know I'm going to do it for you. I like how I can very much relate, like, although I am sitting here streaming this, and so I have my own stuff to, like, advertise, theoretically, I also definitely do this for some of my streaming friends. In fact, you know, speaking of talking up your cool friends, let's do a little shout out for Tapao of Vulcan. And also 6card, who should be here lurking. And, you know, also, I believe Gone Fishin' is lurking. Let's see. So, those are many of my cool streamer friends. And at least all the ones that I know for a fact are here in the chat right now. Or even if only lurking. No problem. And also, I'm hoping if we can get the timing to work out, I'm gonna raid Johnny One Take after this, who has his own Sunday Scaries series. So I figure we do the spooky Scarlet Hollow, and then that can blend nicely into his games. So stick around for that. But also, I'm gonna try to play through all of Chapter 1, but I'll see how far I get. Anyway, Stella sighs. Stella, I'm a YouTuber. I'm gonna go with... Wow, that's rad! I've never met a YouTuber before. I'd love to check out your channel at some point. Although there's a later point where you can say that you're a streamer, and so that's pretty weird that you've never met a YouTuber. So, and I'm like probably gonna choose both of those things, but you know, I stream on Twitch. Maybe I've never met a YouTuber before. Wow, that's rad. I've never met a YouTuber before. I'd love to check out your channel at some point. Stella. Aw, thanks. It's nothing much. It pays the bills, but it's mostly a passion project, you know? Avery. She's selling herself short, Pengu. Her stuff is amazing. She hunts cryptids. I think the best video to start with would be that river one. Not the lake, but, you know, the controversial one. Stella. Oh yeah, the Catawba River Runner. I didn't expect much out of that footage at the time, but it wound up being my most popular video by far. So, the River Runner is a cryptid that's only known from a single sighting. 2 Boy Scouts thought they saw something big and weird in the Catawba River. And that's all I had to go on. But then I wound up catching this on camera. Stella pulls out her phone and shows you a clip of something in the river. Stella. Some folks said it was a beaver, but if that was the case, it'd be at least twice the size of any beaver I'd seen. I also had people saying it was a dog or even a capybara that must have escaped from a local wildlife sanctuary. I'm still not sure what it was, and I'm the one who saw the thing with my own 2 eyes. I'm gonna go with, that's an honest-to-God cryptid there. That's an honest-to-goodness cryptid right there. No way that's a beaver or a dog. And there's no way a capybara would be swimming in a river in the mountains of North Carolina. Unless there's some North American colony of capybaras in the Appalachia, but that would still count as a cryptid, wouldn't it? Stella. Yeah, until someone catches a capybara up here, that would still count as a cryptid by most standards. My comment section went nuts for this footage, and from there it spread to Twitter pretty fast. There were polls for days. I even had actual experts weighing in. It was all a really cool experience. And it meant the video did some pretty great numbers. Personally, I'm a fan of the capybara theory. Oh, Avery says, personally, I'm a fan of the capybara theory. Sure, it's not like any local sanctuaries for missing one, but there's always people keeping exotic animals as pets. Kind of a sewer gator type situation. Stella. Exactly. Some exotic pet owner set it free, and now it will forever roam the Catawba, confusing Boy Scouts and YouTube commenters for years to come. So, speaking of things to do around town, I was actually planning on filming this week's video tonight. I was wondering if maybe you'd like to come along? It's a pretty easy one this week. We wouldn't even have to camp anywhere. I'm gonna go after the... Avery. Wait! No spoilers! Which I think is really cute. Stella. Whoops! Sorry, Avery. Avery. It's okay, I should probably get back to it instead of standing around chatting with friends. See y'all around. Stella. Now that the coast is clear, I'm going after Skunk Ape. Oh, hello, Oh, hi! I just saw your raid! Thank you so much, Phobophobia! Thank you so much for the raid! This is not my very first playthrough, but it's certainly my first on-stream playthrough of Scarlet Hollow. Welcome in, raiders. Hello, Welton14, welcome to my stream. You know, great to meet you guys. Like, I hope that the stream that you just finished went well. Hello, Phobophobia, nice to meet you. Welcome to my channel. What were you streaming? Oh, and I'll do a shout out real quick here to Phobophobia. I guess I could have asked Pow to do that for me, but... Oh, in fact, you were also playing Scarlet Hollow. Okay, that makes sense. I hope you guys had a great time. So this is not my very first playthrough, but it's definitely my first playthrough on a stream. And the concept I'm going for is I'm going for sort of a charming, good-natured Thembo, kind of? Not totally like the Thembo as the, like, non-binary himbo. Yeah. And, so I have found that I'm not totally able to play it as, like, someone who's super dense about people, because sometimes that ends up with really insensitive options, and I'm not good at the insensitive options, but I'm generally trying for, you know, strong and pretty and just very polite. So it's probably not the full Thembo experience, but that's the vibe I'm going in the direction of. So accordingly, my skills are powerful build and hot. Alright, so we're at Stella asking for... I'm super direct and invasive. Fair enough. I mean, I like that there's a bunch of different ways to play this game. I have... this is not my personal first run of it, because on my first run I went for Keen Eye and Street Smarts, and so, like, a very, very observant character who's, like, calling everyone out on their... you know, on their various nonsense. And I also have a run, and I may or may not share that run, and I also have a run that I'm doing, like, privately for my friends. That is the Karen run, I'm calling it. I'm not quite willing to stream that, because I usually don't like being an asshole in games, but, like, I just thought there's so many really really rude answers. I thought it would be kind of an interesting, like, let's just play a Karen, see how that goes. But yes, and hot, let's go. Yep, that's in fact, right, so anyway, you know, again, welcome raiders, thank you so much. That's so fun, and yeah, some of them made me giggle. Yeah, exactly. Oh man. So yeah, again, welcome in, and I hope that you will also enjoy my run, and I'm gonna get back to it. Alright, so Stella has just told us she's going after the Skunk Ape. I'm gonna go with... Heck yeah! Skunk Ape is hilarious. I saw a docu-special on it once. Stinky Bigfoot. Stella. Haha, right? It should be a pretty fun video. It's hard to be serious when you're talking about something that's famous for smelling bad. Most skunk ape sightings are from Florida, but while I was doing research for last week's video, I came across a report where a lady from a town over claimed to have seen one on her deck, playing tug of war with her dog. And as I leave no stone unturned, I decided it was worth investigating. So what do you say? Want to tag along? Hold the camera for me while I narrate against a darkening sky, that sort of thing? Okay. Oh, this is a decision to make. Oh my goodness. Okay. Ah, yes, and T'Pau is also playing through, and actually, while I'm at it, T'Pau has just recently played through Chapter 1 and Chapter 2, and will be doing Chapter 3, I think, on... yes, okay. Sorry, my auto, socials timer came up at the same time I did the shout-out for T'Pau, so I was a little confused. But yes, so T'Pau will be doing, I believe we'll be doing Chapter 3 on Wednesday, you decided, I think, so also worth checking out. And we both play a mix of, like, visual novels and other types of chill games and stuff, so. Alright, so now I need to make a decision. Oh, thank you for the follow, Phobophobia. I appreciate it. So, our options, we have a lot of options here. The ones I like are, that depends, will Gretchen be there, because I'm playing this character as a very much an animal lover, even though they can't speak to animals. Absolutely, because, you know, I'm also playing this character as very gung-ho. Or, it is a little, I actually really like Stella, so it's awfully tempting to be like, it's a date. I mean, I don't get the impression that this is like a visual novel that really has a romance aspect, because it's really not at all the purpose of the thing, so I don't know if you can actually date any of the characters, but, do I want to be flirty with Stella? I might kind of want to be flirty with Stella. If she's not interested, I'm sure she'll turn me down respectfully and directly. Alright. So I'm gonna say, it's a date. Stella. Cool. This is gonna be a lot of fun. I actually just started a channel with a couple of... Oh, I actually started the channel with a couple of buddies of mine. Okay, so I'll note that she did not at any point correct me, so... Oh, this Kickstarter says there are 5 romanceable options all told. That's cool. Oh, hi, unknown enemy. Welcome to my channel. It's going pretty well. We're still pretty early on in Chapter 1 of the game. And I know probably most of you are from Phobophobia's raid, but just in case, I do also have a content warning command for the bot that you can run at any time, which we're just going to throw up. So just because this is a horror game, so I just like people to kind of be prepared for the possible stuff that can come up on it. But, like, again, I'm sure y'all already know, but I am obsessed with Goth Bae. I'm going to marry Kanika with all my lesbian soul. Legit. Yeah, like, so my character is, like, distinctly non-binary, but I sort of picture them as, like, sort of a muscular, kind of femme-leaning non-binary. Oh, they added one more later, too. And I'm assuming that the game has absolutely no restrictions on who you can date. So... But I don't know, I kind of like playing non-binary when you can play non-binary characters, because then any relationship you end up in is a queer relationship. That's always fun. So, of the characters that obviously strike me as potentially romanceable, I guess the only ones that are really obvious at this point are Stella and Kanika. Oh, it could be considered the fifth option is... the fifth option is spoilery, so fair enough. I mean, that is cool to look forward to, and I'm guessing that this game, I mean, for now, I think for this particular, I'm thinking I might also stream a different run-through where my character is street smart and can speak to animals, so I can always choose a different romance route if I decide there's another character I also really like. And I mean, hey, there's always an option that there could, I don't know, maybe they'll have polyamory, you never know. But for now, I think I'm comfortable with, like angling towards, Stella romance, because I really like Stella. Alright, sounds like T'Pau has okayed being messaged the secret option, and I will think on if I want to then ask T'Pau later. But for now, do not message me. I'm happy to leave it be a spoiler, so. Well, obviously, sorry, it was T'Pau you were offering to message, so I'm sure you would not have just messaged me, like, unprompted, but for now, I'm looking to stay. I know everything up through Chapter 1 and 2, because I've played all of Chapter 1, and I've watched T'Pau play all of Chapter 2. But other than that, I don't have any spoilers for Chapter 3, and I don't know a whole lot about the rest of the game, so. Alright. So, Stella says, this is going to be a lot of fun. I actually started the channel with a couple buddies of mine back in middle school, but it's just been me and Gretchen for quite a while. Doop. Me and Kanika and Reese, running around in the woods, flipping over rocks and bothering salamanders. Our videos were terrible, but we had a lot of fun, and that's all that mattered to us. Maybe you'll get the chance to meet them later this week. So, we should probably head out if we want to make it up the mountain before it's too dark. Come on, let's blow this popsicle stand. You pause before getting up. Maybe it's time to make a good first impression. Okay, to be fair, with my hot skill, I already made a good first impression. I gave them my winning smile and said, hello, everybody. So, but you know, I know that this is a different kind of first impression. And this is a very conscientious character who is going to leave a generous tip. You reach into your pocket and pull out a crumpled $5 bill. You know it's a bit more than one would expect to get from such a short dining experience, but you might as well share the wealth while you've got it. You smooth out the bill before placing it on the table inconspicuously. Stella. Aw, that's awesome of you. Avery will appreciate that, I'm sure. Stella turns to leave the diner with you following close behind. Okay, so I'm not going to do a full break here, so don't worry, but I'm realizing my water bottle has run empty, and as I am reading everything out loud, water's a very important part of this stream, so I'm going to just very quickly run in now and refill my water bottle. Because this is just a great break point to do that, so just hold on, bear with me for just a moment. All right. Okay, headphones, are you still working? Do we still have background noise? Yes, good. Okay. Oh, whoops. I accidentally clicked through without reading the previous thing. All right. It hadn't been very cold when you first arrived in town, but as the sun dips closer and closer to the horizon, a chill descends upon the hollow, and you see your situation with renewed clarity. You're in a new place, far from civilization and the people you know, following someone you just met into a dark forest in search of monsters. You feel... I'm gonna roll with more alive than you've been in years. You feel alive, the fall breeze passing through the leaves, the orange hue of the setting sun painting the horizon, the promise of excitement ahead. It's been a while since you felt this in the moment, this present. The world around you feels almost magical. Were a mythical creature to actually manifest in front of you, it would fit perfectly in this world. Oh, and it is my little positivity bot timer. Stella. Gotta love this brisk fall weather. This past summer was the hottest on record. Since last year, at least. You know how it is these days. Each summer is the hottest yet until next summer, which always finds a way to be so much worse. Yup, that is true, and it's also true of winters. Somehow both. Actually, that's not entirely true, because actually I do feel like we get less and less snow every year, but then it's like just really chaotic, and then it's like, yeah, well, it depends on where you live, obviously, but the weather is chaotic, and increasingly more so because something climate change. Anyway, Stella continues. It's just nice to feel a chill in the air and see the leaves change, like normalcy has returned, if only for a moment. Sorry if that was a bit of a bummer. We should talk about something more fun, like skunk apes. I'm gonna say... Do you ever hunt things that aren't cryptids? You know, like ghosts, demons, werewolves, that sort of thing? Stella. Yeah, for sure. I used to go after all sorts of spooky stuff. I never had much luck, though, especially when it came to ghosts. Back when I first started doing solo videos, I'd go into all sorts of old abandoned buildings, hoping I'd stumble across some sort of activity. But nothing ever happened. It was always just me and my camera in an old house getting worked up over a gust of wind or a creaky floorboard. When all's said and done, I've just been a lot luckier with cryptids. I want to believe in ghosts so bad, and I can't rule out the possibility that there really are true hauntings out there. But if there are, I sure as heck haven't seen any myself. Well, I happen to know, Stella, that you are in luck, and you'll get to see something soon. Well, maybe not see it, but be present around something quite along those lines soon. Stella continues, werewolves I kind of lump in with cryptids. I'd be shocked if there actually were people out there who turned into animals, but werewolf lore lines up pretty well with the great beast genre of cryptid. Oh, thank you so much for following a known enemy. Appreciate it. Anyway, Stella continues. As for demons, I don't know. I honestly don't even want to consider the possibility that they exist, because if they really are out there, geez, a lot of folks are doomed to an eternity of flames. So let's just hope all of that's just bunk. Am I right? What about aliens? What do you think about aliens? Stella. Don't even get me started. Did you see those UFO videos the government declassified? Aliens are definitely real, and they have absolutely visited Earth. Like, I believe in aliens way more than I believe in cryptids. You don't see me hunting aliens out here because we know they're real. Oh my god! Okay, so here's my thing. In real life, I absolutely believe that aliens are real, but I don't necessarily believe that they've come to Earth or not. Like, I don't really have a strong opinion on that. But, like, so... These are all fun options, but the fact that Hot and Powerful Build gives me this answer, I feel like I must answer anything that is, like, the combination of the two traits I've chosen, just because you're never going to see it in any other combo. So, if aliens were real, I think they would have visited me by now. Pengu. So my character is saying, if aliens were real, they would have visited me by now. They'd be looking for the perfect human specimen, and not to toot my own horn, but I've been called that 3 or 4 times before. Damn! Yes, combo answers are always great. Agreed. Other people's words, not mine. Stella. Haha, well, they aren't wrong. Maybe aliens have a different idea on what the perfect specimen looks like, though. Maybe they have a particular affinity for truckers and late-night convenience store clerks, and that's why they keep messing with them. You know, she makes a good point. I'll accept that. Alright, I'm gonna go... What's the weirdest thing you've seen out here, other than cryptids? Well, which is... in practice is, what's the weirdest thing you've ever seen out there? Other than anything cryptid related, of course. Stella. Oh gosh, that's a good one. Let me think. Well, there's always the deer I saw stealing baby birds out of a nest and eating them. That was pretty messed up. But I think most people know about that these days. I've seen tons of videos of other deer doing it, so I'm not sure if it counts as weird anymore. Mildly distressing, but yeah, maybe she's right, not weird. Anyway, Stella continues. Oh, Tetanus Lake! That's definitely the weirdest. It was a 5 foot deep, 30 foot wide pile of old cans and bottles and assorted garbage with grass and trees growing on it, so you could barely tell it was there until you stepped on it. It was practically solid ground with how much it had been compressed, but you could still fall through if you weren't careful, hence the name. Better be up on your shots if you want to mess around in there. It was all stuff from the 50s. It was all stuff from the 50s, too, which was super neat. I salvaged a few bottles that I keep in my dresser as a little souvenir. Okay, I'm trying to stay positive, so I'm definitely not going to be skeptical. I'm playing my character more in the direction of the Agent Mulder than the Agent Scully vibe. I'm gonna not even worry about asking if anything's bad ever happened on these hikes, because I'm sure she wouldn't be this gung-ho about it if it did, so it's probably fine. Let's move on. And then Stella says, "Did you hear that?" Which sounded like a snapping twig. I really appreciate the soundtrack to this game. Mystery person from the woods. "Oh, calm down, Gretchen, you old mutt." "Same to you, Stella. You're always jumping at nothing, girl." Stella. "Phew, sorry for getting spooked, Duke. I thought you were..." Duke. "Some creature of darkness? Nah, girlie. Just old Duke. Now what the hell are you looking for way out here?" Stella. "Skunk ape." Duke. "Sorry I asked. And who's this you've suckered into coming with you?" "Wait a tick. You aren't..." "Is that..." Stella. "Yup." Duke. "I see. Welcome to the holler. My condolences. I'll keep you in my prayers. Now both of y'all head on back to town, you hear? It's best you steer well clear of this area tonight. I'm out dealing with my own critter, and I won't be too appreciative if a couple of fools with a camera scare away the more sensitive wildlife." Stella. "What are you hunting tonight? Something tall and hairy? Something musky? You see anything like that recently?" Duke. "Wouldn't you like to know? You never could stay in your business, Stella Richmond. Put that damned camera down." Stella. "Aw, come on, Duke. Maybe I could help out. I'm pretty good at tracking. You know I learned from the best." Duke. "That you did, but I have yet to see a shred of proof that you listened to any of it the way you tromp around the woods at night yelling about chunkabungas or what have you. Something's been getting at my chickens. I've lost 3 this week, and I can't afford to lose many more than that." Stella. "I'm so sorry to hear that. But, I wonder if Skunk Ape has a taste for chicken." Duke. "Now see, this is why I don't come to you about these things. It ain't no Skunk Ape, whatever the hell it is. I don't know exactly what this is, but I know you won't believe me if I tell you." Stella. "Oh, Duke, you don't think it's..." Duke. "I do, actually. It's those damned mountain lions. They're out there, Stella. I don't care what your little investigation turned up. You haven't been out in these woods as long as I have. Those sons of bitches are sneaky. Of course you wouldn't find one in any in one night of tracking. And I know for a fact that's what's been getting at my chickens. Couldn't be anything else." Ugh, that voice is a little scratchy. As you might notice, I don't put on voices for all the characters, but when a character seems like they would have a fairly distinct voice, and I think I can pull it off, I try to do it. Stella. "I'm telling you, man, mountain lions are extinct in these parts. There hasn't been an actual sighting since the 1990s, and even those were iffy." Duke. "I can't believe you go out there on your YouTube saying some river monster spotted by a couple of school-aged Boy Scouts has been 100% confirmed, yet Appalachian cougars are some kind of far-fetched fantasy made up by geezers like me. You made me look like a fool. I read those comments people were posted on your video. They were calling me all kinds of names just for seeing things with my own eyes that I know to be true." Stella. "I'm sorry, Duke. I didn't mean to sick anybody on you. I just don't think it's plausible." Duke. "You'll eat those words when I come carrying a mountain lion corpse out of these woods at dawn. And if the two of you don't want a face full of buckshot, I suggest you run home and stay out of the woods tonight." So I do have powerful build, but I consider my character to be good-natured enough to generally avoid intimidate unless someone was actually being mean to us, and I don't feel like he's being mean to us. Okay, this character loves animals, so maybe I will in fact go, "What? If you find a mountain lion, don't kill it. If there are any in the Appalachians, they'd be highly endangered. Killing one might actually be a crime. At the very least, it would be a crime against nature." Duke. "A crime? What about the crimes they committed against me and my chickens? Ain't murder one of the worst crimes you can commit? I'm just serving justice where it's due. An eye for an eye, a life for a life." Oh gosh. I'm gonna go with, can't you just use a tranquilizer? Can't you at least use tranquilizers or something non-lethal? Killing another animal isn't going to make things right. It won't bring your chickens back, it'll just cause the potential extinction of a subspecies. Duke. Oh, right, let me just go to my truck and get my tranquilizer gun and prescription-grade darts. Are you kidding? I don't have that kind of shit lying around. I mean, honestly, I feel like he's kind of fair enough. I feel like I actually do kind of support him more than I support my own statements here. I've just decided that my character is an animal lover. Not one that is gonna push this further than I already have, I think, but enough to be like, oh, the poor mountain lion. Which is what I've now done. Stella. I do. My parents used to have stuff like that sometimes. My mom could write prescriptions for the darts, and I still have a box of them in the shed. Though they're probably pretty old by now. I don't know how long they're supposed to be effective for. Duke. And there you have it. It's kill or be killed tonight. And if you ain't careful, you'll wind up in the middle of it. So go on then. Go on home. Stella. Fine. I see you won't be moved, and I respect that. Come on, Pingu, let's go back to town. Maybe my viewers won't be too angry with me. Duke. About time. Have a nice night, y'all. Yeah, like, he does make a valid point. I actually kind of agree with Duke more than I agree with the statement I made. In character. I don't actually think there's anything wrong with him, like, just, like, you know, if there was actually a dangerous wild animal that was eating his chickens, I don't think he'd be wrong to approach it the way he's approaching it. Personally, but I also don't really interact with this kind of wildlife much. I am, in fact, a city dweller. As you and Stella return to the trail, she carefully looks back the way you came. Stella. Okay, the coast is clear. There's no way we're letting Duke edge us out that easy. Come on, I know a trail that'll let us get around him. Okay, yeah, no, I'm gonna go with this character. It's just really enthusiastic and not necessarily the most sensible, so... Yes! I knew you wouldn't give up on the hunt! Stella. Never! And trust me, we don't have anything to worry about from old Duke or his shotgun. I've gone out hunting with him before. The man sounds like a truck crashing through the trees when he walks. Even if we do cross paths, we'll hear him long before he catches wind of us. The trail's just up this way. Let's go. Alright, this looks like a good shot. Mind holding the camera? She hands you the camera and takes position. Oh, I get a slightly different statement here for being hot. Stella says, Ahem. As night falls, my new assistant, the gorgeous Pingu, and I find ourselves on a high hill in Blue Ridge Mountains where we'll begin our hunt for the elusive yet pungent skunk ape. Though mostly encountered in Florida, this possible relative of Bigfoot has been spotted all along the southeastern edge of the United States, including right in this very county. Here's hoping we'll get a glimpse tonight. We'll check back once we're on the trail. Until then, stay searching, Stellars. I can take that camera off your hands for now. We'll be able to start tracking scenes once the sun sets all the way. We'll be able to start the tracking scenes once the sun sets all the way. In the meantime, we get to take in all this beautiful scenery. It's gorgeous out here, don't you think? Yeah, I'm gonna roll with, since I've already decided that I'm aiming for the Stella romance on this playthrough. I'm gonna roll with the charming, flirty option of the view isn't the only, let's see. The view isn't the only gorgeous thing out here. Stella, I was thinking the same thing. Oh my goodness, you can totally let her down and be like, yep, Gretchen's got a hell of a mug. Nah. And I'm certainly not going to be that self-centered. That's not how I'm trying to play the character. I am pretty stunning, aren't I? So I'm gonna let the moment hang in the air. You and Stella let the moment hang in the air, both of you comfortably taking both each other and the natural world around you in. Only for it to be pierced by a loud, percussive snort. Okay, but Gretchen is pretty adorable, though. I mean, you're not wrong. Like, I do think that if I were not trying to romance Stella, that would be the perfect way to break that tension, but, like, I wanted to leave the romantic tension, but I feel like if there were an option after the moment, like, left to be like, and like, let's be real, Gretchen's pretty stunning too. It would be cute to put in as an extra thing, but... but yes, I agree, Gretchen is pretty adorable. Which is why I already have kind of... I know about the choice that comes up in this chapter, and I have an idea of how I'm gonna make... It's a tough choice, but... I already have an idea of where I'm going with it in this run. And we'll get there soon, so I'm not going to spoil it for anyone who might be watching this that hasn't seen it. Only for it to... Right, so we let the moment hang in the air only for it to be pierced by a loud percussive snort. Oh my gosh, I forgot about this answer. I'm not choosing it because it doesn't fit for this character. But oh my goodness, I love it. Actually... Oh, fair enough. Super excited to be getting to that choice. I'm actually just gonna save here real quick. Because I refuse to have my character actually say this, but I haven't done this option yet, and I really want to see how it goes. Death has come for me at last. Goodbye, cruel world. To which Stella responds, haha, no need to come to terms with your own mortality yet. Okay, fair. That's not actually what I'm gonna say, I just wanted to see what she would say. Alright. I'll probably just go for the standard what was that. But I just love the writing here. Death has come for me at last. Goodbye, cruel world. But yes, no, my actual character is gonna be like, what was that? Stella. Haha, no need to panic. It's just the sound deer make when they want to warn the rest of their herd about big scary predators like us. Let's check it out. As you and Stella hear the footfalls of animals retreating into the woods, she reaches for her flashlight. A single deer remains behind, staring down the beam of light while Gretchen whines and pulls at her harness. And then it's gone. Stella. Geez, Gretchen, calm down. You're gonna hurt yourself. She cannot handle deer. When she gets like this, I usually have to pick her up and hold her. She has a bad habit of slipping her harness when she wants to go after something. You're too much of a potato, and they don't make harnesses to fit potatoes, do they? Okay, I'm gonna go with... I could do... yeah, maybe I will actually point out that there was something wrong with the deer. There was something wrong with that deer. Did you see its face? Stella. Now that you mention it, there was something a little off. I'd bet it was an abscess, maybe a tumor. It's not like wild animals can get those taken care of, so they just get bigger and bigger. Poor thing. But there's not much we can do about it. Yep, totally. I would die for Gretchen. I mean, fair. I'm gonna go with, well, that got my heart rate up. I'm so ready for the hunt. Stella. Same for me. How's about we take a quick snack break to fuel up, and then we get right into the night's activities. I've got all the best trail snacks. Okay, I know powerful build, like, probably means I could eat all of her trail snacks, but I will not. I will try to be polite about it. As you settle down to rest, Stella breaks open a bag of sorted snacks. Okay, it does say take one of everything. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna say take one of everything. You grab as much as you can. Your body is a temple, and its priest demands offerings. Stella. Somebody's hungry, huh? I'm glad you're having such a good time with my food. You look at Stella in response, your mouth full of delicious snacks. There will be time for conversation when you're finished, but for now, you eat. Oh, I think that's cute. You and Stella settle down on an overlook, snacks in hand, as the quiet sounds of evening wildlife wash over you. Gretchen gnaws a stick, distracted for the time being. Stella. So, tell me what it's like in New York City. Yes, I went very boring, and I couldn't think of a city name in a panic, so I'm just like, it's New York. So tell me what it's like in New York City. Do you have a house? An apartment? Do you live with family? Roommates? Pets? Tell me what it's like to be Pengu. Oh man, there's so many options here. Some of which I've actually done in real life. Like, these are all, like, shitty city apartment scenarios. I've never done the dingy studio apartment. but I have lived in what felt like a closet with not quite 10 roommates, but in that direction. And I've definitely, I've chosen this on a previous run, so I know what this actually means, but I have lived in apartments with actual difficult roommates, like people roommates, which kind of spoiled that one, so I will maybe not pick that one, sorry. I live in a 12 by 12 shed in someone's yard. I'll go with dingy studio apartment. I live alone in a dingy studio apartment. And it's a mixed bag. At first it was kind of nice to finally have a space that was just mine, but now it feels cramped. It's like I'm stuck in a closet alone, and no one can come let me out because I chose this for myself, and as far as they know, I'm happy being there. The lights flicker, the toilet is constantly getting backed up because the landlady upstairs keeps flushing her cat's litter. Ugh. It smells like cigarettes for some reason, and it's home to an extremely durable population of roaches. Yep, sounds like a dingy city, like, deep city studio apartment. But I guess it's home. I do what I can to spruce up the place. I got a plant. You know how they say living things are supposed to brighten up a room. Stella. When you put it like that, I wonder if staying in that old mansion is a step up or a step down for you. Maybe just a step sideways. Have you tried looking for a different place, or maybe finding a roommate? There's gotta be a better apartment like that in a big city like New York. I'm gonna go with saving up for something better, I think. I have definitely, because, you know, my personal life is like, I've had enough bad roommates for a lifetime, is a little bit where I'm not all the way there, because, like, many of the people who I struggled being roommates with ended up being people I could perfectly well stay friends with afterwards. There are only a couple that I'm like, and then I never spoke to them again, and I'm okay with that. But I definitely have lived with some friends where I'm like, oh boy, we should not be roommates. So yeah, so I'm gonna go with, I hear you. I've been saving up for something better. Stella. Oh yeah? So what do you do for a living? There are so many options, but since I'm literally streaming this, I really kind of want to go for streamer. I'm actually a streamer. Stella. I'm gonna assume Pengu is like a fitness streamer. That's my headcanon. Stella. Oh, no way! A fellow content creator. That's awesome. I knew we had a lot in common, Pengu. What sort of streams do you do? Oh, no, you know what? Darn, they actually have the option for what kind of stream you do. Alright, if I were actually answering for myself, obviously the answer is I play video games. But, what do we do for the, like, attractive and fitness buffy type? I'm thinking it's either just chatting or teaching people how to cook. I know it's not a big decision, but, you know, as someone who literally has the hot trait, I'm gonna say just chatting is a thing that they can do. Like, you know, they're charismatic and charming and attractive, and they can probably pull people in with just chatting. And, you know, maybe they chat about their fitness gains and stuff. And, like, that kind of, and advice, and, yeah, advice on fitness topics. That's what I'm gonna roll with. So, I say, I mostly just talk to people. Sometimes it's about my life. Sometimes I spend a few hours giving folks advice. Stella. That sounds really chill, Pengu. I'll have to check it out sometime this week. How do you like it? I'm gonna go with, I wouldn't trade it for the world. Most people I meet tend to raise their eyebrows when I tell them what I do, but I love it. It might not be much, but it makes me feel like I'm taking control of my own destiny. Okay, so, for the record, I don't actually stream for a living, but if I did, I think I'd feel that way about it, for sure. I really love doing it. Like, this is very, you know, streaming is very much a passion project for me, and it's one I have a lot of fun doing. Alright, Stella says, believe me, I can relate. I don't think I'd give up what I do for anything. A crisp breeze passes over you. Gonna ask, what about you? What's your living situation? Stella. Gretchen and I live in a little house just outside of town. It's actually the house I grew up in, so it has a lot of pleasant memories attached to it, and I'm glad I could keep it in the family. My great-great-grandfather built that house, and he must have done a great job, because it's just as sturdy as it's ever been. I have foreknowledge of the game, so I'm going to ask, do you live alone? Do you live alone there? Stella. Yeah, the place used to belong to my parents, but they're not around anymore, and the Holler's a small enough place that other folks don't need roommates. Yeah, and I'm also gonna think that, like, with your character already having a dead parent, like, do you live with your parents? Being kind of insensitive of a topic would probably be something they'd be aware of, so. So yeah, the place used to belong to my parents, but they're not around anymore, and the Holler's a small enough place that other folks don't need roommates. Sorry, just repeated that. Yeah, I'm gonna go with oh geez, I'm so sorry. Yeah. Oh geez, I'm so sorry. Stella. It's okay, you didn't know. And I've done my morning, so you don't have to watch your tongue around me or anything. Life goes on. I'm gonna go with, what were they like? Did you get along? Stella. They were amazing. Two of the nicest people you'd ever meet, and interesting too. My dad was a bit of a regional leader among hunters and trappers. He was always out in the woods, on the trail of something, and we certainly had some interesting dinners because of him. He had to learn how to fend for himself, you see, since his family didn't have much growing up, so he learned how to hunt and trap and got damned good at it. He always made sure I had food and that I knew how to get it if I ever found myself too far from a grocery store. I could make us a pretty good salad with just what's in this clearing if I had to, though it wouldn't exactly taste great. As for my mom, she was a saint. She was the local vet, the lady all the farms in the county knew to call if their animals were in need of something. She was smart as a whip and strong to boot. Turns out pulling calves out of 1,600-pound cows all day is a great way to build muscle. But she was gentle, too. Even the smallest mouse would get the proper care in her hands. I'm sure she's most of the reason Gretchen here is one of the oldest dogs I've ever met. So, yeah, those were my parents. I'm gonna go with, I'm sorry for your loss. I don't know what else to say. I'm just so sorry. Stella. That's okay. I know it's weird, especially since we just met today. It's okay. We're bonding. We're flirting and we're bonding, and getting to know you stuff is a great way to do that, so. Alright, so that was a weird noise, and Stella goes, whoa. Stella immediately packs her bags and slings it over her shoulder. I'm gonna go with... Oh man, it's Skunk Ape! It's gotta be, right? Stella. Could be. Whatever made that sound, I've never heard anything like it. And it's close. Here, hold Gretchen's leash for me and let's check this out. You and Stella inch towards the tree line as she shines her flashlight into the woods. As you approach, a series of weak clucks call out from a nearby bush. Stella. Maybe Duke's birds weren't eaten after all. Oh, jeez. Stella. What the hell was that? Hold on, I gotta play that back. Holy shit. I'm guessing it must be maybe 2-3 feet tall? Doesn't look hairy either, so I think we can rule out Skunk Ape. But whatever it is, it has one of Duke's chickens. It looks like it's headed north. Let's go after it. Yep. I'm gonna go with right behind you. That's the kind of character this is. You follow Stella as she sprints into the unknown, Gretchen excitedly pulling you along by her leash. Oh no! Stella. Oof. Yeah, I'm gonna go with, are you okay? Stella. Yeah, I'm alright. I just tripped on something weird. Oh no, that poor thing. It must have been one of Duke's. Oh Jesus, it's still alive. I'm gonna investigate the chicken. You move towards Stella to get a closer look at the chicken. It is not a well chicken. Stella. Don't let Gretchen too close. She'll try to take a bite if you don't stop her. You hold Gretchen's leash close to your chest. She seems nervous, squirming slightly against her harness. I'm going to assume my character's not stupid enough to touch any of this stuff, so I'm going to just do all the examinings. Its poor little chicken eyes look up at you, glazed over, but still rolling around in their sockets with unfortunate life. Oh yes, also, like, content warnings again. As I've posted them before, you can always do ! Content warning. But yes, this is not a well animal. This is going to be some zoom-ins on some very unwell animals stuff. Let's examine the wing. Looks like this is what Stella slipped on. The wing is barely still attached, but that seems to be the least of this chicken's concerns. Oh, in fact, thank you to Pao for the content warning. And now let's examine the growth. Good God, at first you thought it might have been a tumor, but this is something else. The skin is stretched taut, the growth pulsing beneath. Having investigated to your heart's content, you turn away to give Stella room to film. Stella. It seems we found one of Duke's chickens, folks, and she's not looking good. I'm hesitant to speculate, but she definitely seems to have some sort of growth under her skin. Could be a tumor, could be something else. Either way, I don't think there's much that can be done for her at this point. Jeez, I'm gonna have to put up some massive content warnings for this video. Hey, do you hear that? Duke. What in the Sam Hill are you two doing out here? Didn't I tell you to... But, Birdie? Oh, Birdie, what's wrong, darling? Good God. Did y'all see what did this to her? Okay, I am a little tempted by I'm not telling you shit after you waved that gun in my face. But, I'm gonna just not actually be worried about the gun, and I'm gonna assume this dude's not gonna actually shoot us and say one of the two. We caught a glimpse of something earlier, and when we chased it, it brought us here. Stella, whatever did this to her, I think we can hear them in the trees. Yeah, I don't know if you can hear that. Some kind of creepy whispering sound, but it's there and it's creepy. Let's just up the volume briefly. Just let everyone enjoy the extremely spooky ambiance. Okay. Turning that all back down. Let's call it. Okay. Duke. Put that camera away, for God's sake, girl. I don't want to be in another one of your videos. No one needs to see me like this. No one needs to see Birdie like this. You wouldn't put her online, would you? Not when she's like this, all swollen and hurting. Stella. Duke, did you hear me? I think they're coming closer. Duke. Come out, you sons of bitches! Stella. Duke, don't shoot them. We have no idea what'll happen. Duke. You hear that, Stella? That ain't the sound of something peace-like. Whatever these things are, they'll pay for what they did to my girls. Duke. Come on, you, whatever your name is. Grab that flashlight and help me line up a good shot. As the creatures in the tree line grow louder and more numerous, Gretchen violently strains against her harness. Oh my goodness! Okay, we're saving here because this is a big choice moment, but like, normally you have two choices. You help him with his shot, which prevents I won't spoil it totally, but an unpleasant situation, a very unpleasant situation for Duke. Or you save the dog, which, if you don't, leads to a very unpleasant situation for Gretchen. But, and like, that's a horrible choice to have to make, right? Because especially knowing it going in, like, it's like, you know, if you went in and you didn't know that something horrible would happen to Duke if you don't help him, that's one thing, but like, I know exactly what happens if you choose one or the other. Either way is a terrible, terrible thing, for the one you chose against. But powerful build means that I can pick Gretchen up and do the flashlight thing. I don't have to choose. I love this. I love not having to make a horrible, difficult choice. I want to save everyone. Save everyone. So I'm taking advantage of my powerful build, and I'm grabbing and I'm tucking Gretchen under my arm and then diving for the flashlight. Yes! My achievement that I just unlocked! ¿Por qué no los dos? I can save both of them! I'm so excited about this! You don't even know! Oh. Alright, powerful build. You heroically dive forward, tucking Gretchen under one arm and grabbing the flashlight with the other. Yes! Yes, yes, yes! Sorry, I'm playing this game, and I'm totally prepared for it. I know, like I said, I've played Chapter 1 already, and I did have to make the choice in the first run that I played, and I've watched Pao play this, and So I'm prepared, and I know that some dark things are gonna happen, but anytime where I can make the least bad option, like, I always wanted the least bad option, and I'm very pleased that I just coincidentally happened upon the mix of skills that leads to the Por qué no los dos. So, T'Pau, you'll get to see what happens if you save Duke, and I won't even have to lose Gretchen for it. So, you heroically dive forward, tucking Gretchen under one arm and grabbing the flashlight. Oh, hello, John! So this is a very exciting part of the game, but if you're gonna start streaming soon, there is a little bit more, but I'm gonna resolve this scene. Yeah. I am planning to raid you, so I'll probably cut a little before the end of chapter 1. We're gonna resolve this stream, and then we're gonna go over and, oh, thank you for doing the shout out to Pau, I really appreciate it. But we're gonna be going over to raid, Johnny, who has been playing he's got his own Sunday Scaries, series, that's where I got my Sunday Spookies title from. Who knew I just had to lift and be hot to save these two, right? Right, so we're gonna resolve this, like I said, we're gonna resolve this, scene and get through. It is the hotness that clearly saves them both. I mean, it was clearly established it was the powerful build, but, like, I like the idea that, you know, it's also very good for the himbo run, right? Like, I mean, Thembo, but, like, and I'm not doing, like I said, I'm not doing a perfect himbo-Thembo run, but I'm going in that direction, and this feels very appropriate for the good-natured, hot, and strong one to be able to save everyone. But sure, it is clearly the hotness that saves them both. We'll roll with that. So anyway, you heroically dive forward, tucking Gretchen under one arm and grabbing the flashlight with the other, and everyone lives. Yay. Duke, I said aim the damn thing! Quick! Light up the woods. Duke, perfect. I just grazed it, but that should make it pretty easy to track, eh, Stella? Stella, yeah, a blood trail's pretty hard to miss. Guess we know it wasn't mountain lions after all. Though it didn't look like any cryptid I've heard of either. This is going to be one hell of a video. We've got to go after them while we still have the chance. Thanks for taking care of Gretchen, by the way. I can take her from here. I saved everybody! I'm so happy! I'll be damned if I let her chase after those things alone. Alone, you have no choice but to follow Duke, Stella, and Gretchen into the darkness. I do like, my character, of course, is going to be gung-ho about, like, yeah, let's go figure this out. But I like that the other option is, guess I'll die! It's very funny. You steel your nerves and run into the unknown. As you push deeper into the woods, the unearthly sounds once again surround you. Guys. Stella, the blood trail cuts through here. Come on, we must be close. Duke, damn it, girl. Are you trying to get us lost? Slow down. Stella, there's a clearing up ahead. I think I'm gonna be sick. Duke, Lord, that smell! The shrieks pull back into steady whispers as you, Stella, and Duke stumble upon the putrid bodies of dozens of dead and dying animals. And to Pau, just for your reference, and this is a spoiler for anyone who has not played the game and wants to, like, play it in a different configuration, but if you help Duke with the flashlight and you let Gretchen run off, she's gonna be one of those animals. And there's really no hope for her, and it's just a very, very sad scene. But I saved them both, so Gretchen is safely in Stella's arms, and Duke is also there with his squinty frown, and everything. This is mostly how it goes when you choose to save Duke, but with Gretchen with you and fine. This is, yeah, makes sense and sad face, yeah, indeed. Alright, the shrieks pull back into steady whispers as you, Stella, and Duke stumble upon the putrid bodies of dozens of dead and dying animals. A sinking realization pulls at your gut. This is their nest, and you are surrounded. Oh my gosh! I'm doing it! I'm choosing this powerful build option. Get all the footage you need, Stella. If these things jump us, I'm pretty sure I can take them. Duke, are you out of your mind? There's gotta be dozens of them up in the trees. They're circling us to protect their brood, or whatever it is they've been planting in these animals. We gotta get out of here while we still can. Stella, Duke's right. There's too many of them, and we've got plenty of footage. We need to get out of here, and fast. Yes, Lamau, indeed. Like, I can take him! I'm having a lot of fun with powerful build and hot combo. Just as you follow Stella and Duke in a mad dash through the woods, so too do the unearthly hollers and whispers of the nest. In the highest branches of the trees, and down on the forest floor, they're all around you, casually keeping pace with your all-out sprint. Duke, quick! My truck's down this way! You make it to the road, but 3 of the creatures stand between you and Duke's truck. Yeah, powerful build. I'm gonna clear a path. Stay back! Oh, now we get the close-up. Oh. You take a single deep breath before propelling yourself towards the creatures. I'm gonna punch them! I love this! I'm so satisfied with my Thembo run. As it recoils, you plant a foot firmly in the ground and throw your body towards the abomination to your right, your fist firmly connecting with a powerful haymaker. Its body feels wrong, as if your blow had just collided with a bag of loose organs instead of with a living creature. Caught by surprise and outmatched by your physical prowess, the creatures leap back and scatter into the woods. You are still the dominant species here, at least for now. Duke, get in the truck and let's get the hell out of here! Stella, do we have to take the truck back? I can just walk. Those creatures left. I'll be fine. Duke, Stella, now's really not the time. Stella, alright, I can do this. Whew, the 3 of you sit in silence as Duke drives back to town. Yeah, I caught that too. One of them had a tail, but the others didn't. So they're, I mean, maybe it depends on, maybe, like, you know, if the theory that the abscesses are actually, like, that, like Duke said, they're brood, maybe their physical form depends on what kind of animal they kind of parasitically hatched out of. Alright, the 3 of you sit in silence as Duke drives back to town. The ride feels both like an eternity and like nothing at all. Eventually, it's over, and you find yourself outside of Stella's house. And I think that's a perfect time to break. So we're gonna save there. I will leave this here because it's always good to save at the really major choice points, I feel like. And yeah, so this has been super fun. So for me, I have a lot of other games I'm currently streaming, and I don't have like a ton of time slotted into my schedule. So for me, this is going to be every other Sunday. I'm going to be playing this at 8 p.m. So I am going to be doing it regularly, but regularly a bit spaced out. So every other Sunday, 8 p.m., I will be doing this game until I get through until I finish it. And then once I not finish it, because as probably a lot of people playing it know, it's not officially finished. I will definitely be continuing to pick up the chapters as they release. But for now, there are only 3 chapters. So I'll play through the 3 existing chapters, and I'll keep doing it every other Sunday until I've caught up. And then I might do one more run of it. I might not. And I might keep this Sunday slot for doing other visual novels as well. And then my next other stream is tomorrow. I'll be doing around 4 p.m. Eastern. I will be playing, I will be starting from the prologue, actually, of the Otome dating sim visual novel Cinderella Phenomenon, which is this really cool, it's a really good visual novel, and I like it a lot. And so it's actually the perfect time if you want to like come in and check it out. It's not at all horror. It's like it's, you know, sweet, and it's mostly, it's actually not just sweet and romantic. It's actually pretty serious because it's like got a kind of a cool fantasy plot line going on. But yeah, it's a cool game, and if you are interested at all, tomorrow is actually the best time you could jump in on that. And then I will be back at this game again, not next Sunday, but the one after. And I really hope to see some of you there. And, like we said before, Tapao, my mod, which if you want to shout yourself out again, you're welcome to do so, is also going to be, streaming Chapter 3 on this Wednesday. I don't know exactly what time, but, she usually streams around 7 or 8, I think. Um, but yeah, so you can also check that out if you're here because you're excited about this game. And if you're here, I do think you have to shout out your own with your username. Um, and yeah, so if you're here because you like spooky things, then stick around because we're going to be going to raid my good friend Johnny One Take. And he is also doing a scary game. I cannot recall. Unfortunately, I cannot remember. I think it's like it's a Japanese. It might also be kind of like a visual novel, but it's like one where you walk around and it's like the night Yome something Yume something. I don't remember the name of the game at all. But wait. Yomawari, Night Alone. Thank you to Pow. That is the obvious way to figure out the game he's currently playing. Yomawari, Night Alone. And it's also a very spooky game. You're gonna get a lot of the same content warnings as this. We watched the, oh crap, did it run an ad? So sorry if it ran an ad, I hope it didn't, but, it's hard for me to tell because I just got the notice that pre-roll ads are off. So, right, so we're gonna go raid Johnny One Take playing Yomawari Night Alone. Thank you so much to Pow. It just didn't even occur to me I could do that to figure out the game name, and also it's good to shout him out. And if you like spooky storylines, absolutely stick around for his. It's shaping up to be a really interesting and really creepy story. Very, very different vein than this one, but definitely looks compelling but scary. So anyway, thank you again if you're still around, Phobophobia. Thank you so much for the raid. That was very cool, and it was great to see new people in the chat, and I hope to see you again. If nothing else, then this time... Oh, wait, did that not work? That seems to have not worked. Let me try it from the other command. One take. There we go. Okay, so yes, so I will be at it the Sunday after next with the last bit of Chapter 1 and at least some of Chapter 2. So, yes, I did the... Oh, okay. No. I think my /raid didn't actually work, and I went and I clicked the button manually. So, alright, so we're heading over, and hope folks will enjoy, and hope to see you all around. Bye!